So it may seem like I'm trying to help Doug out. I'm not trying to help him out. I don't care nothing about him, what he got going on, nothing. I care about the truth. The truth was, I was going through a phase in my life, and I have put all the blame on him. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he got going on. But y'all got me on the stand, and I'm telling the God honest truth. Leave me out of this. I made all these stories up, put the blame on him to get myself out of the situation because the police told me they want a big fish, and I'm a little fish. They ain't who I want. So when they told me that, my only motive was to convince them that I'm telling the truth about this guy right here, and I'm lying.
Gunna ain't never gonna work with these niggas again because y'all don't understand the emotions that this man had to go through to sit here and see so many people turn against him about something he has no control over. I understand everybody feel like, yes, ma'am, he said yes, ma'am, to everything on there, that he knew that people was committing crimes. It's no convictions. Why is y'all looking to hate this man? It's no convictions. Y'all just envious, broke, weak-minded people. So the thing about it is, the F Discreet movement was only to save face with Thug. You feel me? To let people know it's okay to work with him. That ain't had nothing to do with Gunna. Gunna ain't never gonna work with these niggas no more. Why should I work with people that try to destroy me? When God got you and God said it's gonna be okay, you look at them type of people and you smile and say, I'ma pray for y'all. You know Gunna fan base is a whole bunch of pretty girls. You know my girl pretty. She told me, all the cute girl love Gunna. I done left her right in and down. I done got jealous of Gunna. Nigga, you gotta leave my girl alone. I'm gonna crack your head. Did you understand me?
Wanna feature that nigga, just say that. You wanna feature that nigga, just say that.
You have a problem with that?
You damn right.
Okay, explain.
Why y'all ain't do this in the beginning? Why y'all ain't do this in the beginning? Why did we have to go through so much shit for y'all niggas to feel like y'all gonna put the money first and y'all gonna come together? Y'all could have been squashed the beef. Y'all could have been came together a long time ago. Y'all could have. But now y'all saying, man, this shit ain't about... Bro, you know how many people sitting in jail for the rest of their life behind this shit? You know how many families that's still broken behind this shit? You damn right. I come from this environment, Vlad. I come from here. I didn't want to go to war with people. I didn't want to have people as enemies. I wanted to be friends with a lot of them because we was friends. See, a lot of y'all don't understand. We wasn't never always enemies. We were friends at a point. Lucha is not an enemy to me. I could go out this door right now and see Lucha and keep going about my business. I'm not here to try to tear nobody down. But at the end of the day, man, y'all so selfish that y'all showed the world how selfish y'all is. Y'all could have easily let it go and went y'all separate ways. Y'all ain't got to work together. Too much don't happen for y'all to try to work together. That's why I feel some type of way.
Young Thug and YFN Lucci just came home. Two names that spent years locked into one of Atlanta's deadliest street wars. And the second both of them touched down, they're in the club together, hugging, laughing, looking like the last decade never even happened. The internet called it growth. The city called it peace. But one man looked at that moment and saw betrayal. Lil Woody. The same Woody who allegedly stood 10 toes down for YSL when things were at their darkest. And now, he's furious. Because while Thug and Lucci are celebrating like brothers, Woody says the people who really paid the price are still rotting behind bars. And what he revealed next has the streets whispering that this so-called peace might not last long at all. To understand why Woody is going crazy right now, you gotta understand one thing. The YSL versus YFN war wasn't some rap rivalry. This wasn't Twitter arguments. This wasn't diss tracks for promo. This was real street tension that had Atlanta in a chokehold for almost a decade. Young Thug and Lucci weren't always enemies either. At one point, they were cool, both rising in the same city, both getting money, both becoming faces of Atlanta's new rap wave. But somewhere along the line, that friendship turned into something darker. And once the streets got involved, there was no off switch. And that's where Lil Woody enters the story. But Woody wasn't just some background name, he was deep in it. And what he was allegedly tied to still haunts this entire situation. Lil Woody is one of those names you don't hear in songs, but the streets know exactly who he is. He wasn't the rapper. He was allegedly one of the people doing the real work behind the scenes, a so-called soldier for YSL. And during the YSL RICO trial, Woody's name kept coming up in ways that made people's jaws drop. the most shocking rumor? That Woody was allegedly involved in the Peanut situation, a name tied to the bloodshed between both sides. And the craziest part? Woody never did serious time for it. He walked free, still breathing, still outside, while the war kept escalating, bodies dropped, families broke apart, and eventually, the feds decided they'd seen enough, because what happened next changed everything for both crews. When the RICO charges hit, it was like the whole city froze. Young Thug facing life, Lucci facing decades, both sides getting swept up, and suddenly, the war that seemed unstoppable was now sitting inside courtroom walls. That's when reality hits different, because prison doesn't care about pride. Prison doesn't care about gang loyalty. All that matters is survival. And while they were locked up, something unexpected started happening. People started realizing this beef cost too much. Thug eventually takes a plea after one of the longest trials Georgia has ever seen. Lucci works his way through his own situation. And one by one, both men touch back down. The city held its breath. Because everybody thought the second they were free, it would be right back up. But instead, something happened that nobody predicted. And the footage broke the internet overnight. A video hit social media, and people couldn't believe what they were seeing. Young Thug, standing right next to YFN Lucci. Not arguing, not tense, but smiling, hugging, chilling in the same club like brothers reconnecting. For some people, it was beautiful. Like finally, Atlanta could breathe again. No more funerals, no more jail sentences, no more retaliation. But for others, it didn't feel like peace. It felt fake, like a business decision. And nobody felt that more than Lil Woody. Because while the internet celebrated, Woody looked at that moment and thought, so all that was for nothing? And when he finally spoke, he didn't hold back. Woody sits down with DJ Vlad, and from the jump, you can see the anger sitting in his chest. Vlad brings up the club moment, calls it good for Atlanta, calls it growth. And Woody's response? You damn right I got a problem with that. Then he asks the question that hit like a gunshot. Why y'all aren't do this in the beginning? Why did people have to D first? Why did friends get locked up first? Why did families get destroyed? Before y'all decided money mattered more than war? Woody wasn't speaking like a hater. He was speaking like someone carrying trauma. Because to him, this piece came too late. And that's when Woody exposed the part of rap beef nobody likes talking about. The bosses can make peace, but the soldiers, they're stuck with the scars forever. And Woody wasn't finished. Because what he revealed next made this even deeper. Woody's voice cracked when he said it. People sitting in jail for the rest of their life behind this. Families still broken. Mothers still grieving. Young dudes gone forever. And now Thug and Lucci acting like it was just a misunderstanding. Woody made it clear, he doesn't hate Lucci. He even said Lucci was never his personal enemy. But what he hates is how selfish the leaders were, because the ones who really paid aren't in the club, they're in cells. And then Woody dropped the real bomb. He claimed he told Thug years ago this beef wasn't even worth it. He said he wanted to go talk and squash it early, meaning peace was always possible, but nobody wanted it until the feds forced it. And that's where the street started asking, was this reconciliation real, or was it just survival? But things got even uglier when Vlad brought up one name, Lucci's mother. During the height of the beef, Lucci's mom's house was allegedly shot at. Around 15 shots fired. Lucci got the call while on tour. Imagine hearing that. Right before walking on stage. Nobody was hit, thank God. But still, that's your mother. And then people pointed out something even crazier. Thug had a lyric, I shot at his mommy. Now Woody played it careful. He said Thug never named Lucci directly. The internet connected dots. But in street politics, it doesn't matter who pulled the trigger. If you're the boss, you're responsible. So when fans see Thug and Lucci partying together after that, it feels impossible. And Woody basically said, squashing beef is one thing, but hanging out, that's different. And that's where this story becomes dangerous. Because Woody isn't some random commenter. He's someone people listen to. And when someone like him calls peace fake, that can spark something all over again. Now the streets are divided. One side says, this is what hip-hop needs: growth, healing, unity. The other side says, this is disrespectful. Because how do you celebrate peace when people are still doing life sentences behind the war? How do you smile in the club when families are still waking up every day with empty seats at the table? That's the part people don't want to talk about. Woody represents all the ones who can't just move on. Not because they want violence, but because the trauma doesn't disappear. The losses don't rewind. You can't undo years of pain with one handshake and a viral video. And speaking publicly like this, that's a wild card, because once one person says what everybody else is thinking, it opens the door. If more people start agreeing, that tension could build fast. And in street politics, tension is never just tension. It turns into whispers. Then sides get picked, then old wounds get reopened. And both Thug and Lucci are still under supervision. They can't afford drama. They can't afford mistakes. One wrong headline, one wrong connection, and everything could collapse again. But Woody feels like the past never got closure. He's looking at this piece like, so all that was for nothing? And that's what makes this situation so unpredictable. Because peace isn't just about stopping the violence. Peace is about accountability. It's about acknowledging what it cost. At the end of the day, peace is beautiful. But peace is complicated. Because forgiveness doesn't erase the past. And moving forward doesn't undo the damage already done. Lil Woody raised a question the culture avoids. How do you make peace? When the people who fought the war are still locked away? How do you rebuild? When the scars are still fresh? And most importantly, is this really the end? Or just the calm before something even bigger? When so many people already paid the ultimate price? Is this real healing? Or is it just a business move after the feds forced everyone's hand? Now the whole city is watching. Is this the end of YSL versus YFN? Or is Woody's anger about to reignite something everyone thought was dead? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Woody is right? Or should he let Thug and Lucci move forward? Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe out there. Because in Atlanta, peace can be real, but it can also be the calm before another storm.